If you've spent any amount of time watching live streams over the last couple of years, the name John Zherka is likely to ring a bell. He's garnered notoriety to the extent that the mere mention of his name has turned into a sort of internet cultural reference point, or meme. Zherka has definitely constructed a public persona that could very well be compared to that of a super troll, captivating audiences by frequently making audacious remarks and doing things considered taboo by mainstream standards, all in the pursuit of getting reactions. The most recent of these controversies occurred when an interview cropped up where he was with an adult video star, and he said some pretty wild stuff. This was later confirmed to be an outright lie. However, it's critical to note that most people who have come across this internet personality are only acquainted with surface-level details. Furthermore, they may possess a fuzzy understanding of his affiliations with other controversial figures within the red pill content creation sphere, such as Fresh and Fit or Sneeko. But what a large number of people fail to grasp is the amount of headline-grabbing incidents this guy has been involved in. While it's true that he's been mired in multiple controversies, to the point where he's faced several suspensions from the live streaming platform Twitch, ultimately forcing him to find refuge on alternative sites like Kick, there's a deeper story here that many have yet to explore. Zherka has an extensive history of saying outlandish things for attention, and he's largely built his brand on this template since 2019, burning several bridges in the process. Today, we'll be uncovering the ashes of those bridges and much more as we go into the full history of John Zherka, a creator that truly will do anything for views. Not much is known about Zherka before he made his first appearance on the internet, except for a few sparse details about when he was born and what he claims he used to spend time doing. The details that are known have been told by him, and with future context knowing he tends to over-exaggerate things for his online character, many question the authenticity of any kind of background he claims to have before his appearance online. But for the sake of argument, let's assume his account of his past pre-internet to be largely factual. John Zherka was born in 1995 in Canada to an Albanian family from Kosovo, who followed secular Islamic practices. He had an early fascination with Dragon Ball, particularly connecting with the character Vegeta. As a child, Zherka was reserved and timid, traits that stand in stark contrast with his current audacious online presence. As a child, John would become extremely attached to a teddy bear he would get from his refugee family home, and often play with it along with his Dragon Ball toys with his siblings. Getting very attached to this teddy bear, he would feel so connected just from the sentimental feeling that all the way to grade 9, he was still playing with it and having a serious connection. But one day, presumably because they had moved or had to sell some things due to financial reasons, his father would tell him that they gave away the bear. Mostly because, according to John, he was already in grade 9 and his parents thought he needed to grow out of it. John said he spent the next 3 days crying over the loss of his bear, and his brothers often called him soft because of it. Throughout school, he would also constantly grind a video game called MapleStory, an MMORPG with a very dedicated player base. Similar to games like World of Warcraft that sucked time out of anyone that got invested, John was one of the kids that did in fact get very, very invested. Because of his assumed lack of real friends in school and his quiet, nerdy demeanor, John would sink hours and hours into this game throughout his entire school career, waking up in the morning and putting in almost 8 hours a day from the age of 14 to 18. So much so that he got very out of shape, and his parents, particularly his mom, would beg him to stop playing and do something else. According to him, he didn't just play it, he made money and ran several of the higher-up guilds, along with his hacker friends, using it to project his love for supervillains as Vegeta. He also got into VAC hacking and became close with the FM King, becoming the highest ranked Dragon Knight in the Scania server. He also describes this as when he learned about financial things like inflation, and that this game gave him purpose and meaning to his life. Because of the insane time sink, Zherka was failing all of his classes almost every year and almost got kicked out multiple times. He would have to do summer school almost every year of high school. Despite his failing grades, teachers would notice him making impressive drawings of Dragon Ball characters, and as a result, according to him, he was put in a Certificate Genius ID class, where he apparently was placed in a classroom of super geniuses. Apparently, he never did well in these classes apart from art, and according to him, he drew the Mona Lisa with crayons, doing things that usually took weeks to finish in a few days when it came to drawing. And just a reminder, this is all coming from him, so the likelihood of a kid with failing grades in every single class being placed in genius classes, I think it's more likely he was in special ed. Being drawn to more artistic and language-based classes, he was very interested in Old English literature, particularly the story of Romeo and Juliet, wherein he imagined himself in the story and said he wanted to be Romeo. In real life, John was a quiet and nervous kid, and he never got into sports at all. According to him, the only sport I was good at was manipulation, but that still took him years to learn.
The only sport I've ever been good at is manipulation, negotiating people out of the bar and into giving me their money out of respect. Like, listen, you fucked up our fucking bartender, you're a big biker dude, you don't do that in my home, blah, blah, blah. But that took years. I wasn't even good at that. It took years.
John would also constantly get the shakes, which led to some major issues in his life, with him even failing multiple times to get his driver's license. This was a very rough time for John. His first forays into dating were marred by nervousness, evidenced by the shakes he would often experience during these encounters. It was also during this time he attempted to pursue a career in sales, but to little avail. Failing to secure a stable job and life course, Zherka started selling drugs, leading to a transient lifestyle that involved crashing on friends' couches. Eventually, a close friend helped him secure a job as a nightclub bouncer, which would be his job for the next 5 years. Tragically, that friend would later be stabbed and presumably killed, plunging Zherka into a downward spiral of depression and substance abuse. He would also take this out in bars and would get into fights all the time. The convergence of these life events, along with his temperament, set the stage for his transition into what we know him as today, as at the time he would upload brutal videos from his bouncer job to his Instagram. By 2019, he was ready to take the internet by storm, and it was almost a foregone conclusion that Zherka would become the focal point of internet chatter. In January 2019, Zherka was still pretty much an unknown entity when it came to anything online related, but he still used the internet a lot when he wasn't doing hardcore drugs or beating up people as a bouncer. During his downtime, perhaps out of sheer boredom, he stumbled on Raj Patel's King of the Hill show, an internet reality show hosted by Raj. The show had an interesting twist. Raj would gather a group of attractive female streamers and have them interact with random people he picked up from the audience, with the possibility of dating in the mix. It's a bit like today's popular podcast trend, exemplified by shows like Fresh and Fit, where instead of dating, people engage in debates. But back then, with Raj's show, it was more about gauging the charisma and personality of the random participants. It was spontaneous and anything could happen. Zherka, unlike most guests on the show, didn't seem to take any of it seriously. He struggled to complete a coherent sentence and spent the majority of his time roasting the girls and avoiding questions. One of his initial moves was to display what he claimed was a pistol, which violated Twitch's terms of service and sent the host Raj into a panic until Zherka humorously revealed it was fake and apologized. Slowly but surely, viewers began to catch on that this was all a massive troll, but there was something about Zherka's demeanor that started to charm some of the audience.
I got the president for her name's Candyland, right?
Yes, I'm Candyland. Let me see. I'm excited.
So, it's an English dictionary.
I hope he's not gonna show his
I
penis.
can't understand. Every time she speaks, I don't understand her.
Address, sorry.
I got another present. There's a rose.
Okay.
Is this fucking real?
This rose will go to whoever I'm the most compatible with.
What set Zherka apart from the typical streamers was his brazen disregard for convention. While others sought to impress the audience with their wit and charm, he seemed intent on dismantling the entire premise of Raj Patel's show. His reluctance to engage in the expected dating rituals and his penchant for roasting the female participants left many viewers in stitches. Zherka was, in essence, the anti-hero of the stream, a character who thrived on chaos and unpredictability. Their reactions throughout the entire stream proved that comedy is dead. John's lines and comedic timing were perfect. I was laughing my ass off the whole time.
You say you're a sweetheart. So like, what's the nicest thing you've ever done for a girl?
Okay, for my ex, like, don't laugh. I would wash my body and my private parts with toothpaste so it tastes minty, right?
What?
No. I was thinking of her.
This unorthodox approach to streaming not only set him apart, but also paved the way for a new kind of content creator who would emerge in the years to come. It's essential to remember that this was before figures like Andrew Tate gained widespread fame. So in some ways, Zherka's unapologetic attitude on his stream could be seen as a precursor to the kind of content creator that would emerge in the future. At a time when every Twitch streamer was very socially conscious, constantly trying to avoid bans, and constantly sucking up to bigger streamers, trying to social climb their way to the top, Zherka was a breath of fresh air. John Zherka, instead of social climbing, was happy to kick the ladder down and laugh from the bottom as everyone fell off. A major testament to his entertainment value is how well the stream did after it was posted to YouTube, getting 500,000 views in almost a day. People began to adore him and started following him on Instagram and Twitter, which he continuously promoted while delivering humorous insults to all of the female participants on the stream.
John Zherka.
How do you spell that?
Okay.
JON_Ken_ZHERKA.
In the aftermath of that fateful stream, Zherka's social media presence exploded. The combination of his sheer audacity and the humor itself had struck a chord with a significant portion of the online community. However, it also attracted its fair share of detractors and skeptics. In fact, he garnered so many that his Instagram account was banned shortly after the live stream concluded, probably due to the videos of people getting the snot kicked out of them by bouncers, and John included. Regardless, people loved Zherka and the obvious character character he was playing, and Raj would start having him on as a consistent guest after this infamous first stream. When Zherka returned for the next episode, he cranked up his cocky attitude and doubled down on his witty roasts, much to the amusement of the audience. But Zherka wasn't content with just being a fixture on King of the Hill. He extended his larger-than-life persona to other platforms and events, including debates that featured the same audacious personality reminiscent of Andrew Tate. These appearances had a peculiar effect on the serious debate participants, like Destiny, as Zherka's irreverence and unapologetic style turned what was once serious discourse into a lighthearted spectacle where he would just roast everyone and totally ignore the topic at hand. With each statement, such as the notorious declaration that fat shaming works, Zherka solidified his position as not just a character on the show, but as the driving force behind its entertainment value.
They do shame. They call you a fat fucking, you're all low IQ, you stupid. Just, you want to harm society by telling them they're beautiful and fat and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, Destiny.
Fans couldn't get enough, and they eagerly asked about his whereabouts whenever he wasn't on the Raj show. This demand eventually prompted him to create his own Twitch channel. It was around this time that Zherka decided to diversify his content and start his own shows, capitalizing on the momentum he had generated. Leaving behind a 5-year career as a bouncer, he launched his channel to a roaring success, amassing over 21,000 followers in the first month alone. Zherka's content was an eclectic mix, featuring insane IRL streams that took him to the streets, akin to popular people like Ice Poseidon.
Everybody stop. Stop, stop, stop. I own Los Angeles, that's why you all stop. You can go now. Thank you.
But then he would also invite girls to come on his show and try to rizz them up or roast them, often both at once. He even met up with one of the female participants he had encountered during a stream, making an appearance on her stream that culminated in a bizarre moment where he sniffed her.
In a video game.
Oh, I don't know, dude, I'm gay.
Oh my god. Did you just smell me?
No, I was smelled Raj.
In the following months, Zherka's channel experienced exponential growth, and he began to catch the attention of prominent creators like Tyler1 and Greek God X, getting interviewed and acting like it was no big deal. Most streamers would bow to their feet and beg for subs. Instead, he called them losers live on the air. To an outsider, it appeared as if he were a seasoned Twitch veteran who had been a major streamer for years, not just someone who had recently burst onto the scene. And that was largely due to his charisma. It truly was unmatched. Unfortunately, this meteoric rise came with its fair share of pitfalls. In July, during an IRL stream, a girl flashed the camera while trying to promote her Snapchat. Zherka's attempts to react quickly and shield the camera from the indecency was not successful, and a look of depression washed over his face, as if he already knew what was coming.
I, America_lover on Snap.
Wait, don't need that. You get me in trouble.
The following day, Twitch handed down a severe punishment, a 30-day ban due to the incident involving nudity. Fans were outraged, and Zherka too voiced his frustration. Obviously, even objectively speaking, it's ridiculous to ban someone over a stranger flashing the camera, but Zherka had noticed a major hypocrisy in Twitch's rules. He pointed out that Twitch was full of booby streamers that filmed themselves half naked, and that there were several wardrobe malfunctions that didn't get them banned. Except he was the one who got the raw end of the deal when he wasn't even trying to get himself into that situation. In an article written a few weeks after his ban, Zherka said, "Well, if you look at it, guys seem to make a lot more money than girls on Twitch, so it's unfair that way, but if you look at it the other way, guys deal with severe bans compared to girls. It seems like if you're a girl, you can get away with anything. I'm not going to talk about cats and stuff, but you know what I mean. Basically, girls for nudity get a 1-day ban. When someone flashed me on stream, I got perma," Zherka added, before noting that he was only even able to return to Twitch thanks to a top 10 streamer who had his back and petitioned for his return. He stated that he was broken without his chat as they had saved his life, but sounded off on Twitch one final time. How the f are you going to take that away from me, and you're not going to take it away from the fucking e-girl that had, oops, wardrobe malfunction for the 30th time to triple her stats? Ridiculous. Following his reinstatement on Twitch, Zherka embarked on a renewed and determined journey in the world of streaming. He had dabbled on and off, but now he was set on taking it very seriously, committing to streaming for 8 hours a day, akin to a regular full-time job. His content, which had been a mix of various elements, began to solidify into two main themes: politics and e-girls. Zherka's venture into politics began when he shared a debate platform on a live show with Destiny, a fellow streamer known for his political discussions. Zherka, in his characteristic and somewhat eccentric style, started to express his own political beliefs. These beliefs, as mentioned before, would probably be closest to Andrew Tate's views, but amplified to the extreme. Zherka's approach to politics was unorthodox and entertaining. He often prioritized saying the most absurd, trollish things to garner laughs and draw in more fans, or just spark outrage on the panel. However, it seemed like he would occasionally interject his genuine political views views into the conversation, blurring the line between performance and authenticity. This enigmatic quality, the difficulty in distinguishing whether he was being real or playing a character, became a hallmark of his content and endeared him to fans who relish the unpredictability. This guy has incredibly mastered the art of being 100% satire, yet still being based and right about 78% of the things coming out of his mouth. In another way, you could say he would start saying insane stuff as long as it got attention, which would define the rest of his career. As he continued to make appearances on Destiny streams, it became clear that he and Destiny had formed a unique partnership and mutual appreciation. Their on-screen dynamic, characterized by contrasting personalities, added depth and entertainment value. Destiny's patient and rational approach often contrasted with Zherka's provocative and unfiltered style, making for some of the funniest Twitch clips of all time. On the other side of Zherka's streaming content was his fascination with e-girls. He frequently broadcasted himself in public settings attempting to pick up girls, and also regularly interacted with female streamers. This also extended into online dating. He'd engage with his chat by swiping left or right on Tinder profiles, often with insane results, trying and failing to rizz up iDubbbz' wife, Anissa Jama, before being banned from her channel.
Hi, I am a famous streamer looking to chill in chat. Is it okay?
Just gonna hi, I'm a more famous streamer looking to chill and chat. Hello?
Oh, cool. She's chill.
Third act and cool. I'm not even kidding you. It was like legitimate.
She's chill. She's chill. Maybe not.
And before I go any further, this video is brought to you by the Turkey Tom Classic plushie. It's available for a limited time only, so get it while you can. Alright, back to the video. There was even one time when he was trying to rizz up a girl while her father was moderating her Twitch chat.
Your parents proud, yeah?
Oh yeah, my dad is actually a mod in my chat. He's like my #1 supporter on socials. My mom is a little bit too much of a hippie to kind of be into technology things, but...
Wait, your dad is in chat?
Yeah, he's probably watching.
His pursuit of romance, both on and off the internet, became a recurring theme, and it seemed like if you were a female who was active on the internet, Zherka had either already tried to rizz you up or was planning to do so in the future. Around this time, Zherka would accidentally leak his phone number during a stream, but he played it off as a joke and it didn't stop his popularity from continuing to soar. A few weeks later, another clip would blow up of him screaming, "Suck my c**" too loud, interrupting his brother's work conference call and leading him to come in extremely angry while live on the air.
Suck my I got normie girls that come suck my freaking I don't need Twitch girls. I need clips, viewers, and fucking community and an army. Yo, chill, bro. Chill.
Yet, a shadow of discontent loomed over his relationship with Twitch. Even though his channel had amassed over 100,000 followers, Twitch had refused to award him the coveted verification checkmark. It appeared that after Zherka had publicly called out Twitch staff for their bias, the platform began to scrutinize his content more closely, actively seeking reasons to suspend him. Many speculated that Zherka's days on Twitch were numbered. Despite this, Zherka still ended the year on a high note, and views were still spiking to new highs never thought possible. However, things would take a turn for the worse in March. Zherka would tweet at Twitch saying that he just got banned out of nowhere, and he wanted to know why. After almost an entire month of being banned with no response, Zherka would then tweet out, "The reason I was banned was because I clicked on a photo of a girl in a bikini on stream for too long. I thought this would be harmless because girls literally blow up swimming pools in their living rooms and post sexually/bounce on a floaty for millions of dollars on Twitch. The biggest difference is that my chat was respectful, and these pool streamers have chats that are so insane that I'm shocked they get away with it." Fans were outraged, while haters celebrated his ban. Oh yeah, by this point, it's worth noting that John had accumulated a small number of detractors, mostly fitting into two separate camps. On one hand, you had people who interpreted his political statements seriously and as a result became enraged by them, and on the other hand, you had those who saw through his ascent to the top of Twitch, pointing out the fact that he was continually pushing the line of what he would do or say for clout, and there didn't seem to be a real person behind the name John Zherka, simply an amalgamation of whatever made him most popular at the given moment. But for now, the audience was the least of John's concern, and Twitch staff was his #1 enemy. This temporary ban occurred during the peak of the hot tub streaming trend, reigniting debates about Twitch's double standards regarding barely dressed female streamers. Although this explanation for his ban was speculative, it appeared that Twitch had implemented a ban ban on using Tinder outright because streamers would show chat pictures of potential matches and ask for opinions, often leading to unsavory responses in Twitch's eyes, to say the least. After a grueling 2 months of no streams, Zherka was finally unbanned, but his viewership and momentum had suffered significantly. Destiny had recently come out to support him, and Zherka was now largely considered an orbiter for Destiny. In other words, someone who orbits around a much larger creator than themselves in an effort to gain more views. The reasoning for his frequent appearance on Destiny streams was arguable, but it seemed to fans that after his stagnation and growth as a result of the ban, Zherka had started going on Destiny's shows in an effort to recapture his audience. As fall came around, Zherka seemed like he was starting to get a little more desperate for attention now that he wasn't at his peak, and for some it seemed like he would do anything for another sweet drip of attention. Little did people know that there was almost no place John wouldn't go for clout. In order to understand the weight of Zherka's choice to take part in a certain fall drama, we're going to have to take a sidetrack to build up context for the situation. A very lengthy and convoluted sidetrack, so buckle up. Comparing Destiny to John Zherka is like comparing a horse to a dolphin. Both of them have zero qualities that they share alike physically, but they do have one major similarity: an animalistic desire to mate. Destiny has had a long history of flings with several e-girls, some of them being BPD or borderline personality disorder girls, and this situation involves one of them, a girl named Anna or Anna Frills, who's become extremely infamous in Destiny's community. Destiny and Anna, who by the way is a psychology student and a certified domestic abuse counselor, used to be friends. They engaged in discussions on their streams, exploring topics related to psychotherapy and abusive relationship dynamics. Destiny even went as far as taking the dark triad personality test per Anna's request. Anna is the internet stereotype of BPD woman, and these streams were absolute dumpster fires in many cases, making her look pretty insane. In fact, these discussions often painted Anna in a negative light, to the extent that, according to Scoot, a prominent Destiny orbiter, Destiny actually prohibited their upload. Right from the start, there was something strange about how Anna was talking to Destiny. Instead of outright diagnosing Destiny with a personality disorder, she consistently made indirect references to specific negative personality traits and behaviors that she believed he exhibited. It wasn't until one of the many streams they shared that Destiny decided to confront her about this tendency. Unfortunately, the conversation veered off course as Anna became fixated on defending the purity of her intentions and the validity of her communication style. Behind the scenes, in the early days of August, they had a face-to-face meeting, but both agreed not to publicize it. Hopefully, you can read, or I guess more accurately listen between the lines to know what meeting up means. However, Anna, perhaps underestimating the possibility of leaks from her relatively small community, did announce their get-together on her Instagram and Discord. She also somewhat indiscreetly included it in her stream title when she left their shared space to stream separately. To make matters more complicated, unbeknownst to Destiny, she was still streaming when she returned to their shared room. It was weeks later when Steven discovered this and confirmed that he and Anna had indeed met during that time. Even before this though, the two seemed to already not have the best relationship. Following their meeting, Destiny embarked on a flight to Sweden to visit Melina, his wife, with whom he has an open relationship in case you weren't already aware. Shortly after he landed and started streaming, he participated in a sponsored event on his stream. During this time, he was essentially unavailable for casual conversations or even messaging, which lasted roughly a day or so.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Mel time.
Why did I say this?
Mel time. It's Mel time.
Oh, she got the form. Okay, so we're just doing salsa. We're just going.
Yep. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was after this period that Anna's reaction took a dramatic turn, as if a switch had been flipped. She began sending him an onslaught of aggressive text walls, expressing her discontent with his behavior and implied that he was a cold, uncaring narcissist who showed no regard for her feelings. Additionally, she criticized what she perceived as his seemingly loose standards when it came to casual relationships.
It's like, Steven, do you have any standards, Steven? You have any standards at all, Steven? Or do you just... Is it just anybody, Steven? Literally anyone, Steven? Everyone? Like, are any standards at all? Like, you don't think so?
On one of her streams, in response to a comment about Destiny's parenting, she suggested that extended periods of absence by fathers could have a negative impact on children. Clips of these comments made their way to Destiny, and on October 5th, he made a public announcement that he was ending his association with Anna. Fed up with the situation, Destiny decided to block Anna on Discord, hoping to put an end to the saga. However, Anna was undeterred and resorted to messaging him relentlessly on Instagram. Faced with this persistence, Destiny had no choice but to block her on Instagram Instagram as well. But Anna's obsession was unrelenting. She then turned to Twitter as her next avenue for messaging. Her justification for this persistence was rooted in fear. She apparently was scared about what Destiny might do next, especially since he had already disclosed details about their relationship and supported them with screenshots of their text messages. Her fear was that he might take things to the next level and potentially share intimate images or content, something she was desperate to avoid at all costs. Dan, another friend of Destiny, managed to persuade both of them to have a moderated conversation on stream. This would allow them to address their respective grievances in a public forum, and thus, the stage was set for the first major breakup stream. Surprisingly, the outcome was an agreement from both parties to never speak about each other again. Unfortunately, Anna left this conversation feeling mistreated, as she later conveyed to her friend Drew. She was also dissatisfied that Destiny did not acknowledge or apologize for what she perceived as his abuse. Which, to be clear, there was no abuse. He just didn't message her back, and that set something off in her mind that made her obsessed with him. This ceasefire, however, proved short-lived. The need for further resolution led to the second significant breakup stream, this time moderated by Drew, who happened to be a psychotherapist in training and a friend of Anna's. Once again, the outcome was an agreement to refrain from discussing each other in the future. Destiny wanted to distance himself from the situation due to his personal nature, choosing not to upload these streams to his channel. Instead, they remained buried deep among the unlisted VODs. He also took steps to remove all posts in the subreddit that discussed their relationship, hoping to put this chapter behind him. For several months following their tumultuous breakup, both parties reached a mutual agreement to ban any discussion of Anna on the subreddit. Anna also committed to refraining from talking about Destiny during her streams. However, some interesting developments emerged during this time. Streamers Aristocracy and Prime extended invitations to Anna to participate in their panels, and intriguingly, Anna claimed that Steven had encouraged her to expand her streaming by appearing on these panels. It seemed that he was content with the idea of sharing the panel with her. Most notably, Anna also made an appearance on Zherka's stream. During these appearances, Anna often discussed topics related to abuse without explicitly mentioning names. But some viewers interpreted these discussions as indirect references to Destiny, as Anna had a persistence to always talk about these issues on every single panel. What's beyond interpretation, though, is that some individuals Anna reached out to began privately informing Steven that Anna had been making serious allegations against him. These allegations included accusations of non-consensual sexual encounters, manipulation, and a laundry list of other significant claims. This development deeply unsettled Steven, especially since a streamer named Bob7 had previously employed a similar tactic earlier in the year, which had surprisingly effective consequences in tarnishing Steven's relationships. In response, Destiny made several attempts to appease Anna during this period. He initiated dialogue with her behind the scenes and even revisited their long-distance friends with benefits arrangement. There were even moments where he affectionately called her princess, despite the fact that she had said crazy shit about him. It seems like his best attempt to appease the entire situation and avoid it going nuclear. The culmination of this ongoing drama reached a breaking point when Anna appeared on a Zherka panel alongside a few other streamers. The conversation eventually delved into sensitive territory, and Anna grew increasingly furious, launching into a passionate tirade about Destiny. She began explicitly discussing him and her perceptions of abuse inflicted upon her. In a surprising move, Destiny, who was on vacation in Sweden at the time, decided to join the conversation to confront Anna. He also had some strong words for Zherka, accusing him of being overly fixated on his romantic life. Zherka had seemingly bought into everything Anna had been saying and continued to provoke Destiny, leading to his growing frustration. Steven voices displeasure, particularly about Zherka's relentless engagement with women who made serious accusations about him.
Steven, we saw the clip of you admitting that most of DGG is from 4chan and that they're ex-Nazis. Don't you think they're going too hard on Anna?
Listen, John, there's so much stuff to talk about.
Turn your cam on, Steven.
There's so much stuff to talk about on the internet. There must be something to talk about besides my life, John. You have. There must be other content out there.
Hold on. You think I chose this topic?
Yes, every
rewatch the VOD.
Rewatch
the VOD.
No, I just want to.
During this heated stream, Anna had a complete mental volcanic meltdown, marked by screaming, crying, and a cat filter. Zherka had to mute her several times so that Steven could even be heard. Over the course of this conversation, much of Anna's behavior, as characterized by Destiny, seemed to be validated. She was crazy. Viewers walked away from this stream with the understanding she was not mentally well, and that her interpretation of reality was not to be trusted. I like how people started off feeling empathy and siding with Anna because she was crying, and then we get to see them all realize she is batshit crazy. Later on, Anna also accused Destiny of forcing her to have unprotected sex, a claim that turned out to be false once DMs were leaked. Nonetheless, the panel collectively agreed that they should never discuss each other again, seemingly bringing the issue to a close. However, Zherka later realized that it appeared he was exploiting this emotionally distressed woman for content. In response, he deleted his video of the stream on that day. He managed to convince everyone else, except for the streamer Stardust, to do the same. When Stardust refused to delete her copy of the video, Zherka and another streamer, Infrared, attempted to pressure her on stream, leading her to tell him, "Go f*** yourself." In response, response to this escalating drama, Destiny decided to prohibit Zherka from using any of his streams as React content moving forward. Zherka initially claimed that he had been sent a cease and desist letter from Destiny, which Destiny later clarified wasn't the case. Zherka deleted the tweet 30 minutes later. The drama between Destiny and Anna would persist for months, leading to tens of hours of video content where Destiny would call her crazy and she would have a mental breakdown and kind of validate his take. However, Zherka largely distanced himself from the situation after that incident. In the aftermath of this entire escapade, Destiny and Zherka's relationship remained hostile for the following months, with Destiny coming to the realization that everything Zherka said truly was for the views. Any and all beliefs he expressed seemed to be driven more by a desire for attention rather than genuine conviction, even in cases where he would seemingly break character and say something in earnest. He was willing to have Anna, someone who Destiny had openly expressed was spreading lies about him, on his stream to spread lies about Destiny. Meanwhile, Destiny was half the reason that Zherka had managed to fall back on after his ban in the first place. It felt like a betrayal. Despite this, the two rekindled their association with each other a few months later, and while not exactly friends, they were willing to be friendly with each other in a rival type way after Zherka apparently apologized and Destiny decided to let the Anna saga be water under the bridge. They would still debate each other and get heated, but the two stopped genuinely hating each other after a while. If you take him seriously, Zherka is the most annoying person in the world. If you treat him like a clown, Zherka is a lovable idiot. This period also coincided with the rise of red pill content, prompting Zherka to shift his content strategy. A new era was unfolding for the Zherka fanbase, and things were about to get even more crazy. In 2022, Zherka's content took on a familiar pattern of contrarian and red pill style stuff, designed to provoke intense reactions from his audience and others alike. His classic persona as a charismatic, selfish, and somewhat dense frat guy was a perfect recipe to blow up. Zherka continued with his regular routine of picking up girls and engaging in debates on his streams. It was also in 2022 that another prominent right-leaning creator, Sneeko, found himself facing bans on various social media platforms and sought a platform to consolidate his audience. Zherka reached out to Sneeko, and the two hit it off. In October, Zherka embarked on a unique adventure, collaborating with YouTuber Infrared in a trolling expedition on college campuses. They held up signs defending Putin and Russia, which led to a random college student throwing hot coffee at Zherka. Impressively, he used the sign as a makeshift shield to deflect the blow.
We got Obama's drones on the way. Yo, get this off camera!
Late in 2022, Zherka engaged in various debates with Destiny, including a notable one about whether the Earth was flat or not. You can probably imagine the position that Zherka took.
It's because
the Earth is spinning on an axis and those stars are so tremendously far away from us, we're not going to see it move through the sky.
Yeah, but you're not just spinning through an axis, the sun is moving too, so it's an acentric model where you're flying through space. So
wait, yeah. John Zherka, if you look up at the sun, and you walk around your apartment building, the sun's not gonna move through the sky, dog.
During the same month, another YouTuber named Mr. Girl, who you may remember for his very positive review of the movie Cuties, interviewed Zherka in an attempt to gather dirt about Destiny for his own reasons. During the stream, Zherka took the opportunity to troll Mr. Girl and made a mockery of his intentions, revealing a softer and more humorous side to his fans. This incident also showed that deep down, Zherka still had a certain affinity for Destiny. Zherka actually managed to make Mr. Girl look way worse than anyone else has. Mr. Girl is embarrassing. The following month, Destiny and Zherka even met in person and had lunch together. However, a bit of drama resurfaced in January when Zherka revealed that he had attempted to pay a creator named Dylan Burns in order to prevent him from making a video about the drama involving Anna. Despite everything that had happened, Zherka still seemed to maintain a friendship with her. Hope you know Anna had stated the whole reliving of her bad moment is taking a toll on her mental health. I will donate 1,000 anonymously if you stop. Money is no issue. Dude, I don't want money, I'm good. I'm not even going after her. I know next to nothing about this. The year 2023 would be explosive for Zherka, but it started on an unfortunate note. In February, Zherka received his third and final ban from Twitch, and this time it was permanent. While some viewers were puzzled, others weren't entirely surprised given his history of bans. Speculation ensued regarding the reason behind that ban, with some suggesting that JD, a fellow streamer, played a role. The theory circulating on subreddits and comment sections was that JD ANH had contacted Twitch moderators because her boyfriend felt uneasy about Zherka inviting her to his birthday stream podcast. It was perplexing to many. However, it was all conjecture until the streamer herself disclosed her involvement in Zherka's ban, albeit for a slightly different reason than the public theory. According to her, Zherka had lied about her cheating on her boyfriend, a claim she vehemently disputed. Outraged by this falsehood, she decided to take the matter to Twitch staff and requested Zherka's ban.
Yeah, basically he lied that I cheated on my boyfriend with him again. I was back then single during the time I cheated on anyone, and just saying a lot of false He would broadcast my stream, and it was really bad. Like, a lot of people came to my chat from his chat harassing me, saying bad things. So I went to Twitch staff because I know people there, texted him, told him exactly what he did, and now he's been banned. And I assume it's because of
The revelation that she had the means to influence a Twitch ban over a personal gripe raised eyebrows and drew criticism for its audacity. Even Destiny, who wasn't known for defending Zherka at this time, spoke up in his favor. He not only highlighted the absurdity of someone having the power to get others banned through a simple text message, but also vouched for Zherka's character. Destiny asserted that Zherka was not the type to engage in creepy behavior or slide into someone's DMs inappropriately.
I will say, I've known Zherka for a while, and I've heard stuff privately, and I've known him publicly and personally. I really don't think Zherka, I don't know, I've never heard of him ever creeping on a girl, ever. The idea that you could just casually, like, fucking DM, like, someone that works at Twitch and be like, I need you to, like, fucking permaban this fucking guy. I need you to end this dude's whole fucking career. It's so fucking wild to me.
Despite the defense from Destiny, Zherka still found himself permanently banned from Twitch, and nothing was going to change that. The consequence was not just the loss of nearly 200,000 followers, but also a profound sense of despair. He described this period as the darkest phase of his life during a rare moment on Destiny's stream when he seemed genuinely depressed and, for once, completely out of character.
I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm going through the worst phase of my life. Worse than high school, worse than getting fired, worse than losing everything. I don't even know how I'm smiling talking about it. I think it's, right, this is the first time in my life I called my mom to, you know what I mean? Have you ever been hurting so bad you talk to your mom? You just leak to your mom? Actually, it's not okay.
In his quest to address his ban, Zherka found an unexpected opportunity on the No Jumper podcast alongside Destiny. Their debate was nothing short of insane, marked by Zherka's constant fidgeting, microphone cable wrangling, and passionate rants about fluoride, as well as Destiny's preferences and romantic partners.
He likes 18-year-olds a lot.
You think he looks 18?
No, he likes them.
That's not even true.
He bangs a lot of 18.
That's not true.
19.
Not true.
Like, okay, say you had a hot 18-year-old holler at you tomorrow.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, I just say I don't. It's not like I've got a legion of 18-year-old girls.
But okay, like you clearly would like to be living the Leonardo DiCaprio lifestyle. What's holding you back? Is it morals or is it just optics?
Looks.
This episode attracted a staggering number of views, partly due to Zherka's devoted following from his previously banned channel, and partly because No Jumper was experiencing a content drought. Even clips reposted to highlight specific channels received hundreds of thousands of views. New viewers, who had never encountered Zherka before, were captivated by his eccentric character and unfiltered craziness. The interview and debate with Destiny were such a hit that Zherka was invited back not once, but 2 times in quick succession, 9 days later and then 6 days after that. These interviews collectively garnered nearly 500,000 views, effectively catapulting him back into the spotlight after a period of waning relevance following his ban. Zherka craved this attention and wanted it to keep pouring in, and in May, Zherka appeared to engage in a fight with his former subscribers. But the video documenting this altercation was so blatantly staged that virtually everyone saw through the ruse almost immediately. Even when an article was written about this supposed feud, the primary focus shifted to people's annoyance at Zherka's attempts to manufacture drama to boost his relevance. A mere 7 days after this episode, Zherka embarked on a double date with Melina and Sneeko. The jokes practically wrote themselves, especially revolving around a certain word that starts with C and ends with UCK. The great irony of this, of course, is that he was making these kind of jokes while ignoring Sneeko's own involvement in similar scenarios. During this double date, Zherka and Sneeko seemed to get friendlier, ultimately leading Sneeko to pave the way for Zherka's appearance on the up-and-coming Fresh and Fit podcast, thanks to his connections with the hosts. Fresh and Fit was like a second home for Zherka. The show delved into topics that aligned with what he had discussed with his audience for years: politics, masculinity, relationships, and all of the nuances, or maybe lack of nuances in their case, in between. Zherka even had the chance to interact with other prominent figures on the politics side of things, such as Nick Fuentes, who's probably the most controversial person in modern politics. He swiftly became a regular on Fresh and Fit, winning over new fans who were previously unfamiliar with his persona. Around this time, Zherka also decided to launch his own channel on the alternative streaming site Kick. But it's unclear whether this was due to securing a deal or simply because he missed streaming on his own terms. While appearing on shows like Fresh and Fit was enjoyable, it was evident that Zherka longed for the independence of streaming on his own channel. In early June, he introduced his own website called Date IQ, which is essentially dedicated to how to pick up chicks as a Sigma alpha male, following a similar vein to many Andrew Tate clone websites. The website itself is actually really funny. If you go to the top, you just got a video of him on Fresh and Fit next to Sneeko, and then if you scroll down, you've got this goofy picture of him with a Miami hat on. It says, learn how to talk to women and get what you want. And then below that it says, in Date IQ, I'll show you how to get your phone blowing up. And then we have a list of messages that I guess you'll be receiving very quickly after interacting with John Zherka. Here we have Mary Damon. It says, OMG, you didn't have to riz me up like that. Then we have Kylie Jenner, who says, last night was so fun, we should run it back. Date IQ says, boom, you have 34 new days scheduled. Keep crushing it, G. Lena, I think this is Lena the Plug, as in Adam 22's wife, says, my boyfriend wants you inside me. And then we have Bottom G, who says, yo, put me onto your game. And he also claims to have changed thousands of lives. John reviews his smoothest pickups, where some girls started off hating him and turned into loving him within an hour of him speaking to them. John breaks down each and every detail of what he says, how he says it, why he says it, in granular detail so it's replicable for anyone. So if any guys in the audience are having a hard time with the ladies, hit up Date IQ, okay? This is your one-stop shop. Results not guaranteed. There's gonna be no results. Let's be real. On June 15th, Zherka dropped a mysterious video on Twitter showcasing his face covered in bruises while uttering the 6-letter F word a few times. This puzzling and slightly alarming post left fans both confused and concerned for his well-being. Later on, Zherka shed light on the incident, which apparently involved Sneako. He revealed that it all stemmed from him making derogatory remarks about Muslims during one of his streams. Apparently, a group of individuals from the Muslim community confronted him in real life, demanding an apology and trying to intimidate him. Surprisingly, Zherka took responsibility for the altercation, not for his derogatory comments, but for his aggressive response. Instead of backing down, he basically encouraged them to fight him. He admitted that he should have handled it more peacefully instead of provoking further conflict. Unsurprisingly enough, this newfound perspective didn't prevent him from later mocking Sneako for his devout religiosity and efforts to spread the teachings of Allah. Around this time, Zherka also claimed to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's stunt double in the movie Skyscraper. He insinuated that The Rock was a homosexual, complete with a comical photo featuring a lookalike and The Rock himself. Fast forward to July 13th, and Zherka, Nick Fuentes, and Sneako decided to join forces, Power Ranger style, to debate Destiny on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Zherka seemed to have assembled his dream team from the past few months, ready to take on the epic libtards in classic ownage style. The outcome? An entertaining shouting match that both sides appeared to relish in, as was often the case with debates featuring Zherka. Additionally, John found himself entangled in a minor dispute with FouseyTube. In classic Zherka manner, once he got Fousey on the phone on livestream, he decided to call him gay and ridicule him for an incident involving a prostitute at an airport. Seeking yet another means to maintain his streak of fame, Zherka decided to contract a 20-year-old adult film actress to join him on stream. He falsely claimed that she was 16 years old and called himself a pedophile. Yes, you heard me right, he called himself that in an attempt to bait reactions. This audacious stunt successfully garnered attention, with Drama Alert even featuring a viral tweet covering the clip. For those unfamiliar with Zherka's history, these tweets might have raised eyebrows. However, for those who knew him well, it was evident that these statements were merely extreme provocations aimed at generating more attention and views. Although still peculiar, Zherka's track record made it clear that these statements were nothing more than bait for reactions. Nonetheless, some viewers couldn't help but interpret these statements as a Freudian slip, saying these jokes were just a mask for what he truly felt. And I don't necessarily blame these people for thinking that. After all, that's what Zherka wanted. He wants you to think that because in his mind, as long as you're thinking about him at all, he won, no matter how disgusting you think he is. By mid-August, Zherka's friendship with Sneako began to crumble as he increasingly distanced himself due to his inability to handle banter or criticism, which eventually led him to unfollowing Sneako on Twitter. On August 25th, Sneako responded to a video made by Zherka in which he hinted at having incriminating information about Sneako that he chose not to disclose. Sneako's response asserted that he, in fact, played a significant role in Zherka's rise to fame.
I made Zherka's career, and he admits it. I don't even say that on stream because I don't want to come off like I'm egoing him. He will tell you, Sneako made my career. I make his career, and then all you do for months straight is talk shit, talk shit, talk shit. You go on stream, Sneako this, Sneako that, Sneako that, Sneako that.
Zherka admitted this point was true, but countered with, "You're gay, lol." Destiny weighed in on this exchange, speculating that the dirt Zherka possessed on Sneako might involve providing him with drugs, and Sneako not strictly adhering to the religious principles he had been preaching about for months.
There's like a million times where I say stop, he says stop attacking me, and I just delete. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the fall Zherka's talking about is probably the drugs. That'd be my guess. He said he got drugs from Xeno, and it was probably Sneako.
On September 1st, during a call with Aiden Ross, Sneako abruptly left the conversation, presumably out of fear, when Aiden added Zherka to the call. Sneako's chat obviously ragged on him and labeled him as a coward, to which Sneako only responded by expressing his desire for genuine friendships.
You told me to add him in, and now you're trying to leave when he's about to join? It's just kind of weird. There we go.
So I want real friends, bro. I want real friends. I don't want people around. Like, I'm sick of this, like, the influencer thing. Don't you see how, like, and this is why it's uncomfortable now.
2 days later, Aiden Ross interviewed and confronted Zherka about his pedophilic comments, to which Zherka responded while donning a Mario costume, refusing to back down from his prior statements. Aiden, seemingly overwhelmed, was left speechless, and his reaction was akin to a computer experiencing a sudden malfunction.
Did you call me a pedophile?
Yes. Yeah. Sneeko told me you're a pedophile.
Yeah, I am, but I didn't know you knew. Like, what the f is Sneeko just talking shit?
I mean, it's a little bit weird, don't you think? You don't think it's weird to fuck 16-year-olds? It's a little weird.
No, it's weird, but they're so hot, dude. I went to a state where it's legal and I just fucked one.
Yeah, nah. Come on, bro.
Ultimately, John Zherka will stop at nothing to secure the highest amount of views, or what he deems to be the funniest content. Regardless of whether you agree with anything he says, it's hard to deny that he's an entertaining figure. At the end of the day, this is the primary objective for most online content creators, providing entertaining content. Sometimes it's enjoyable to watch an eccentric individual passionately scream at the top of their lungs about the earth being flat, even if you vehemently disagree with their views or actions. And sometimes it's also entertaining to watch a trash fire, which at this point, the IRL streaming community between FouseyTube, Aiden Ross, and John Zherka seems to be getting adequate fuel. The brakes on the Zherka train appear to be non-existent, and it's likely he will continue to pull off more stunts in the future, perpetually striving to outdo his own level of absurdity and outrage that he can generate towards himself. That being said, this can't last forever. For every fan he gains when he does something absurd, he loses 10 potential fans who are turned off by whatever he said. These people will never watch him because of that. And for the fans who do stick around, he has to increasingly embarrass or incriminate himself for the sake of entertainment, while also burning bridges with everyone around him. Truly, John is someone who is fun to enjoy from afar. But for everyone who gets close, between Destiny and Sneeko, they seem to realize sooner or later that staring into his eyes is more akin to staring into the abyss. He's a complete vacuum of personality that will truly do anything for views. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, buy my plushies, bye.